star! Wake up, everybody! There's a shooting star!
What's going on? Campers, why are you out of your bed?
All hands on deck! Batten down the hatches! Everybody up! Fire in the hole!
Captain, it's all right. Your ship isn't under attack. I just saw a shooting star.
A shooting star? Blimey, where was it?
Somewhere over there.
Off the starboard bow, eh? Starboard bow.
That's funny.
That's enough. No campers are supposed to be out of their cabins after dark. What are you doing out here, Sally?
Oh, well, I was reading in our treasure map. The Bible, I mean, all about the promise God made to a man named Abraham. Listen to this. Then the Lord took Abraham aside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." So I thought I would try counting the stars too, although I lost count after 68.
I've seen billions of stars in my travels. Why would one person have that many descendants?
Yes, that's a good question. Our big idea for tomorrow might help us answer it. We're going to learn in our Bible story that God has a purpose in everything.
God has a purpose in everything? But what was God's purpose in making a promise with Abraham?
Well, let's hear the Bible story about it. But first, it's time for a chanty. Stand up with us, Journey Kids campers.
Last week, we read in the book of Genesis all about how God created the world and about how Adam and Eve disobeyed God. So now we're going to read a little bit later into the book of Genesis about a man named Abraham who God had some very special plans for. The Lord said to Abram, changed his name to Abraham later on, so for right now, his name is Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, "Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you." So Abram departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife, Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran, and headed for the land of Canaan. Lot, who was traveling with Abram, had also become very wealthy, with flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and many tents. But the land could not support both Abram and Lot, with all their flocks and herds living so close together. So disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abram and Lot. At that time, Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land. Finally, Abram said to Lot, "Let's not allow this conflict to come between us or our herdsmen. After all, we are close relatives. The whole countryside is open to you. Take your choice of any section of the land you want, and we will separate. If you want the land to the left, then I'll take the land to the right. If you prefer the land on the right, then I'll go left." Lot took a long look at the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley in the direction of Zoar. The whole area was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord or the beautiful land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot chose for himself the whole Jordan Valley to the east of them. He went there with his flocks and servants and parted company with his uncle Abram. So Abram settled in the land of Canaan. And Lot moved his tents to a place near Sodom and settled among the cities of the plain. But the people of this area were extremely wicked and constantly sinned against the Lord. After Lot had gone, the Lord said to Abram, "Look as far as you can see in every direction, north and south, east and west. I'm giving all this land, as far as you can see, to you and your descendants as a permanent possession. And I will give you so many descendants that, like the dust of the earth, they cannot be counted. Go and walk through the land in every direction, for I am giving it to you." Sometime later, the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision and said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, what good are all your blessings when I don't even have a son? Since you've given me no children, Eliezer of Damascus, a servant in my household, will inherit all my wealth. You have given me no descendants of my own, so one of my servants will be my heir." Then the Lord said to him, "No, your servant will not be your heir, for you will have a son of your own who will be your heir." Then the Lord took Abram outside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." And Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. So God made a big promise to Abraham. So come back next week where we'll hear more about how God worked through him. So you can get out your treasure chest and find your treasure map right here. And for episode 2, you can find your 2 on the map. We're going to use the stars. You can stick that on right here, like that. And today we learned that God has a purpose in everything. So next week we'll add another sticker to our map. Oh, hello Journey Kids! Welcome to the Mad Science Lab. My name is Dr. Frizzle, and today we are going to be making constellations. Well, not quite making constellations, but we're going to find out why you can only see stars at night. And to do that, we're going to have a little experiment, okay? So this is our mock night sky. And to make our constellation, to see our stars shining, we're going to open up your treasure box here. And you're going to need your cups, like that, and your toothpicks. Okay, so what you're going to do is poke holes into your cup in any sort of shape you want to make a constellation. So I've got some constellations up here. This is the Big Dipper, which you may have seen in the night sky before. I think I'm going to do that one. So I'm going to look at where each little dot is. I'm going to punch that into my cup, like that. There's one there, and then it kind of goes down, like that. And there's the little cup part. Okay, and you want to make sure your holes are big enough. So if you want, you can even turn your toothpick around to make them a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is our constellation. And now you can use either a flashlight, like that. I'm just going to use the flashlight on my phone. And if my lab assistant can make the sun go down, we're going to turn off the light. So this is as if the sun is going down. Now, this is our night sky. We've got our constellation. And we can see the stars shining. Like that. So that's like the Big Dipper. And then I've done a few more here. This is like a moon, like that. And we can also have stars in the star shape and the sky. You can move them around, make them go bigger, make them go smaller, like that. And you can make any kind of a constellation you want. Yeah, so you can make all different kinds of constellations. You can make up your own. You can look up different ones here. God made all sorts of different stars in the sky. So there you are. I'll see you next week for another science experiment.
It's time for a memory verse. Repeat after me, Journey Kid Campers. Your word to me, your servant.
Your word to me, your servant,
Is like pure gold.
is like pure gold.
I treasure what you say.
I treasure what you say.
Psalm 119, verse 140.
Psalm 119, verse 40. Good job, Journey Kids.
Have a nice day.